From the Cleary Alumni Center on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, it's the Mike Schmidt Football Show. Brought to you by Honda Motorworks, your electric and hybrid headquarters at 4th and Cass. By Schilling Supply, serving businesses with critical supplies since 1897. By Schumacher Kish Cremation and Funeral Services in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. By 360 Real Estate Solutions, they've got the keys to your new home. And by Market & Johnson, Western Wisconsin's construction leader, adding value to everything they do. Now, here's the host of today's program, Terry Erickson.
Welcome to UW-La Crosse. We are in the Clary and Friends Alumni Center for the Mike Schmidt Football Show here on KQEG. The show is live on the stream and also played back each Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We want to begin, like we do each week, with acknowledging sponsors that help bring this show to you. Schilling Supply, Honda Motorworks, Schumacher Kish Funeral Homes, 360 Real Estate, and Market & Johnson. We also want to thank our guests for being here each and every week, coaching staff, community guests, in support of Coach Mike Schmidt and Eagle football. Many familiar faces, we appreciate you being here. And now, the star of the show, Coach Mike Schmidt. Couple of times, and you still mean that, don't you?
Yeah, I think we ran into a pretty good team. You got a lot of talent, well coached. Ran into a really good team, and unfortunately
And a couple of things.
He wasn't wearing lederhosen, was he? Okay.
Maybe underneath his slacks.
All right. Just
but,
make sure.
But he said to me, he said that he accepted the blame. I mean, the kind of quality person he is, he said, Terry, I accept the blame for the way the offense played. I have to do better, and I will in the remaining games. You can be assured of that. But then he said something even more powerful. Here's what he said. I have played for many coaches in my lifetime because he's transferred, of course.
Yeah, you bet.
He played for several high school, at the high school level and the youth level. He said, I'm paraphrasing now. He said, I played for many coaches. I've never played for a guy that's more positive, more upbeat. Instead of getting in our face and hollering and getting upset about the way we played, he was calm, he was poised, and he said, this loss does not define us. He said, this loss will only help us to get better. We are still in the hunt, and we will have a great year. Now, I'm paraphrasing what he told me that you said to your team.
Yep.
That's powerful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you look at who's played a tougher stretch the last 3 weeks than we have. I don't know that many teams out there have. I mean, we go from Illinois Wesleyan, who is in control of the CCIW right now. We play a really good Dickinson State team, and then Whitewater here. We've had a tough stretch here, and we've come out with 1 win and 2 losses out of that stretch. But we have a lot ahead of us. Everything that we want is still ahead of us. And, you know, I think what he's talking about there a lot, you know, Max Brower gets beat, and I know we'll talk about the game, but Max Brower gets beat, Colton Neiman get beat on touchdowns, and what are we going to do? The guys feel bad about it. Ben throws an interception. He feels bad about it. Those guys, they walk off the field, and the first thing I did to all 3 of them in all of those situations was I gave them a big hug, held them tight, and I said, we're going to need you here in some capacity on one of these plays coming up to help us win the game. What does yelling at the guy have? What's that going to do for us? It's not going to do anything. I gave all of them big, huge hugs as they came off the field, told them I loved them, told them I still believed in them, and I would do the same thing for any one of our players. because we got great kids. They're trying to win the football game, and going in a negative light, it's not going to help anybody out.
We're going to meet two of those kids. You said you have great kids, and we're going to meet a couple of them. But for our viewers in particular, that approach, that reaction, that statement to your team is not common. That is an unusual way to treat your players.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's just our way that we want to do it, is give them just as much love as we possibly can. And if you're going to do it all the time and you're going to ask them to keep their poise, then as the coach, you know what, you have to do that too. And I thought, going into that game, I said, and I told our team that, I said, go have as much fun as you can, because I know I'm going to. And I did. I had a lot of fun. I know our guys did too. And hate and fear, that's not gonna win games. Love at our place is always gonna be our way.
I caught on the sideline as broadcasting the game. I caught 2 times when you actually broke into a smile to your players, and you broke into a smile to a friend of mine, the white hat that was working the game,
Yep.
Chuck Morning.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a great relationship with the officials throughout the game, and again, those guys are like. I mean, they work other jobs, they're teachers and whatever else in the community throughout the week. I mean, this isn't what they do for a living. Let's have as much fun with those guys as we can, and hopefully, they do just such a great job for all of us. So why not have a great relationship with all of them? Have as much fun as you possibly can.
And you did. All right, let's break the game down
You bet.
quickly. All right, scoreless after 1 quarter. Best quarter of the season. Best half of the season. You took away a lot of good things.
Yeah, we had a really good half. I mean, defensively especially, we had a great half. Played really fast, played really physical football there. Really had a nice job up front. Our D-line and Coach Janis did a great job with the scheme of getting things moved around to help out the run game. We kept plays in front of us in the back end. Played a bunch of different coverages, which is what we said we wanted to do. We wanted to be really multiple up front, multiple in the back end, and you go in and you have a great half defensively and give yourself a shot at halftime at least.
A methodical drive in the second quarter. You have a fake punt. You told me in the meeting you might be a little aggressive in fake punt. And of course the recipient, Kyle Cable, Sean Parker to Kyle Cable. Great play selection in my view in that particular drive. A very methodical, well executed. You selected plays well, culminated in Ben Shramsky's 6-yard run, 7-3 at half. What'd you say to your team at halftime?
Nothing. It's funny. I didn't say anything to those guys and they're smiling over there right now. I didn't say anything to them before the game. I didn't say anything to them at halftime, other than let's go finish this thing and let's go win it. What do we have to say? I mean, what is there left to say? You're up 7-3 against Whitewater. Me yelling something or giving them a motivational talk, that's not going to do anything else. They're in position and they have a shot to win the football game in that thing. Let's go do it.
You held Whitewater 79 yards and 1 for 6 on third down conversions, and then in the first half, then in the third quarter, after multiple penalties, and you said that Whitewater is one of the most penalized teams in the nation.
Yep.
The 28-yard pass, fourth quarter, 3 touchdowns. Yep. And no huddle offense was part of their success.
Well, you know what happened, and I said this I think on the show last week, and we talked about it a lot. You can't go 10-7 with these guys. And where do we find ourselves going in the fourth quarter? 10-7. They're going to grind you up. They got a couple big plays in there. You know, Max doesn't make a play in the end zone. Colton falls down playing man-to-man coverage, and that's what happens when you're all alone and you fall down. There's nobody else to help you out. There's no deep middle safety that's there to help you out. So they get that 17-7 lead, and then we go for it on fourth down. We throw the interception, and they score at the end where we're letting them score so we can get the ball back, get an opportunity to at least try to get in the game at some point, try to win the game till the end. But big plays cost you, and I said this last week. You can't play these guys 10-7 because they're going to grind you up. Going into the fourth, there we are, 10-7 with them, and hey, really proud of our team. Said I loved them, told them that I'm proud of their effort. If we can play like that effort the rest of the way, we got a shot to win the rest of them.
I think you define, as we close the first segment, you define success on the scoreboard, naturally,
yes,
but you define it on success of your effort too. And
sure.
I agree with you. We're going to talk about your lack of maybe a running game you need to work on. Everyone knows that. Third down conversions. But we're going to take a break just for a minute. When we come back, we're going to be joined by 2 members of the Eagle football team right after this. All right, AJ, and what's the other guy? Who's the other guy?
360 Real Estate Solutions has the keys to your new home. Introducing the Hub on 6th, rooftop lofted condos for sale. Beautifully designed with open floor plans up to 3 bedrooms. The Hub has what you need for city life, from studios to 3 bedrooms to fit your lifestyle and your pocketbook with the extra touches that matter. A rooftop sports court, bike storage with a washing center, community rooms, storage units, laundry, a pet walk, and a workout room. Get your tour today at hubon6.360.bz.
The all-new Honda Fit gives you the flexibility of the Magic Seat with the fuel efficiency you celebrate at the pump. From Honda Motorworks.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda.
Since 1897, Schilling Supply Company has been your single-source provider of business solutions and supplies. Their 65,000 square foot facility stocks over 3,000 items ranging from packaging, janitorial, industrial, food processing, safety, and specialty products. Schilling Supply provides the essentials you need to meet your customers' and employees' expectations. Businesses like Gunderson, Quick Trip, Dynamic Recycling, and Badger Corrugating rely on Schilling Supply to deliver the right products at the right time. Schilling Supply Company. Visit on the web or call.
Stunning from any angle, the HR-V is a crossover of style and versatility.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motorworks.
Welcome back to the Mike Schmidt Football Show. We're joined by 2 student-athlete guests, AJ Villarreal and Kyle Cable. 2 guys that play the same position, 2 guys that I see on the field quite a bit. Thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, great players for us. They sure get to spend a lot of time with me throughout their career here with position meetings and team meetings. They're kind of always around me. But, man, love these guys. They play I mean, since I've been here, they've been playing on special teams, and I mean, Kyle was on pretty much. Both of them are pretty much on every special team. Have been the last 2 years, and playing a ton for us and find themselves in big-time roles here now within our defense and what we're doing there. So both had big plays in the game the other day. AJ's, he has the fumble recovery, but the hit that he has on the sideline, the pass breakup that he has on their sideline were just big-time plays within that game and helped us out. So really played his butt off, and you're going to have to take a bigger role now with Pete Kissling probably being done for quite a while. And then Kyle comes in and plays in a bunch of different roles for us all the time, kind of what he's always been, like the Swiss Army knife for us that he is. But, boy, both great players, great guys, great teammates for us.
They are. I noticed the leadership abilities in both. We'll start with AJ. I know we all watched Peter Kissling being taken off the field, his arm, elbow. Hopefully he'll be back. But there was a flavor in the paper and in the article that you guys all were deeply upset about that, and that you sort of you rallied after that, and it picked up your game, and perhaps even will pick the game up more in the next few weeks.
Well, yeah, he's always been a good buddy of mine. I started out here with him. We were freshmen together. We've grown up playing in this program together, and seeing him go down, it hurts because I've been behind him, and he's struggled with some injuries last year and missed a few games, and now to see his senior season kind of like window away, like it just hurts to see him do that. And like I want to play the best game for him, putting us in a playoff spot, potentially giving him time to maybe come back and play in the playoffs. So we just tried to rally behind him and play our butts off for him.
So addressing that real quickly, there is a chance that he will be back, right, Coach?
Don't really know yet. Really don't know. It's time will tell, and we'll kind of see what's going to happen. We really have no idea on it right now.
Well, we talked in the first about Kyle Cable's reception on that fake punt, and I talked a lot about your athleticism during that play, watching you play at home in high school, by the way. And were you the featured receiver, or did he audibilize and just go to the guy that was open?
Well, it might surprise you, but I was the featured receiver, now playing defensive back. But no, it was something we put in the week, and we've been looking at some looks with Speaker the previous weeks. So kind of putting somebody on the other side and looking for something for a fake punt, and it happened to be me. So
why would that surprise me? I mean, I saw you play at home in multiple sports, and then I see you watch your younger brother now who beat the Logan Rangers the other night. My two grandsons on that team, I wasn't too happy about that one, but the Holman people were. But talk about your high school days.
Well, geez, I got to relive the glory days. No, I enjoy going to watch my brother play, and I feel bad for every once in a while when parents talked about it when I was at home on Friday night, that every once in a while, either on the PA system or on the news, they say Kyle Cable instead of Kevin Cable, and I kind of feel bad because he's out there doing his best and always playing well, and I think he's probably a better athlete than I was. But you know what? I try not to live too much about back in the day, but I do like going back and watching the coaches and watching my younger brother play.
Sure, because you left a great legacy. Well, a coach's son, so you really maybe understand the game more than maybe even some. What thoughts on that?
The game, well, you talking from my dad being a coach?
Yes.
Okay, well, he coached basketball. I think the biggest thing I've talked to you about a couple of times is when somebody comes up to me and they're like, oh, you must play basketball at UWL, and I say, no, I actually play football. And it's kind of hard sometimes, but I chose football because it was something I grew up playing, and I had a bunch of buddies that I played with, and game stuck with me, and I kind of tend to get away from basketball and chose football.
Good for you. Well, you've done well. So I know Kyle wants to steal the show, but we got to go back to AJ a little bit to talk about from Lyons Township High School in LaGrange, Illinois.
Yeah.
Were you a star?
I mean, up until my senior year, no. I played a very limited role. I was on kickoff, maybe a few special teams. That was about it. But going into my senior year, I was outside linebacker and middle linebacker, believe it or not, being 5'8", 140 pounds soaking wet. But then I led my team in tackles. I got defensive MVP. I was first team all-conference in the area. So I ended up making a good name for myself, but I wouldn't say I was a superstar, and definitely wasn't the biggest star on that team. We had a couple guys go to big D1 schools. One went to Mizzou and was a traveler and played in the Rose Bowl. and one went to Lafayette and broke all the records they had for their receiving corps. But I definitely did have a good senior year at my high school.
Well, you said you weren't the best, but you must have been right near the top. Recruiting, though, you had a chance to go other places besides UWL. You're a senior now?
Well, I actually came here to wrestle, believe it or not. I came here on a wrestling visit. I attended a game day visit, too, because football wasn't something I was really looking into. I placed in state my junior year for wrestling. I had a friend who previously came here and was a wrestler here. I was interested in the area. I loved fishing. It was right on the Mississippi River. So it gave me an opportunity to both play my sport, get a good education, and enjoy the outdoors. And I visited here, and I was just sold on the area and didn't go anywhere else, didn't look anywhere else, and just came strictly here. 22
tackles so far this year. You had a fumble recovery, a big one. You had a couple big hits, as Coach was talking about. Real quickly, your major, you're going to be a teacher, you're going to be a coach, and you're going to stay in the lacrosse area, right?
If the job and the opportunity presents itself, I am 100% for it. It's wherever the wind takes me. I'm looking to coach both wrestling and football wherever I go and just enjoy my time and enjoy the outdoors.
Who inspired you when you were young to maybe I could be a college athlete?
My dad just pushed athletics on me and my two brothers. I have a brother who actually wrestles here too, and he's just a huge advocate in supporting us and really just like pushing us to play sports. And a lot of people told me I couldn't be a college football player, which I feel like actually pushed me more in order to play football. Like I was too small, I was never going to do this and that. And I was just excited to be able to play football out here.
Yeah, you proved them wrong, didn't you, AJ?
Exactly.
Good for you. Kyle, they probably said you're too small to play college football too, but and you as a junior or finance major, you proved those doubting Thomas is wrong. That's for sure.
Similar to AJ, definitely, that's for sure. So, it's been a great ride here, and we look forward to the rest of the season.
Thoughts for the rest of the year, quickly as we wrap up. Goals and maybe thoughts for the team, starting with you, Kyle.
Well, Coach Schmidt said it best himself after the game when we were in the locker room. He said everything we want for us is still ahead, and in a great season, I think every team faces a little adversity, and we definitely have, but we're going to rebound, I think.
Mood of the team now as we go into the Stout game, and thoughts on the rest of the season.
We just got to pick each other up, win out, and just be our biggest support system. If we win out, we have everything we want ahead of us, and that's the biggest thing we could have going for us.
As our viewers can see, two quality athletes. Every week we bring the finest at UWL. So thanks for being on the show again. Kyle Cable, AJ Villarreal. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll be back and talk a little bit about Stout and wrap up with some other thoughts right after this. Nice job.
360 Real Estate Solutions has the keys to your new home. Introducing the Hub on 6th, rooftop lofted condos for sale. Beautifully designed with open floor plans up to 3 bedrooms. The Hub has what you need for city life, from studios to 3 bedrooms to fit your lifestyle and your pocketbook with the extra touches that matter. A rooftop sports court, bike storage with a washing center, community rooms, storage units, laundry, a pet walk, and a workout room. Get your tour today at hubon6.360.bz.
The all-new Honda Fit gives you the flexibility of the magic seat with the fuel efficiency you celebrate at the pump. From Honda Motorworks.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motorworks.
Since 1897, Schilling Supply Company has been your single-source provider of business solutions and supplies. Their 65,000 square foot facility stocks over 3,000 items ranging from packaging, janitorial, industrial, food processing, safety, and specialty products. Schilling Supply provides the essentials you need to meet your customers' and employees' expectations. Businesses like Gunderson, Quick Trip, Dynamic Recycling, and Badger Corrugating rely on Schilling Supply to deliver the right products at the right time. Schilling Supply Company. Visit on the web or call.
Stunning from any angle, the HRV is a crossover of style, and versatility.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motor Works.
All right, welcome back to the Mike Schmidt Show as we close this week's show. You know, before we talk about Stout, I noticed there are lots of high school students on the track surrounding the field before the game. And recruiting, of course, being the lifeblood of college success and coaching. Talk about when you bring recruits in for our viewers. This is, I think, an interesting thing. When you bring them in on a Saturday, what's the protocol?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that is. And on our game days, that's why it's so vital to have such a good game day atmosphere. That might be the only time that they show up to your campus. I mean, even last year we had a bunch of guys that only visited on a game day and committed after that. AJ, you just heard him in the previous segment. I came on a game day football visit and I committed after that. It's so important that our experience and the atmosphere at our game days is so good because, you know, we're trying to get the best talented athletes out of the entire Midwest here every single week for our home games. And, you know, last week we had 30, almost 40 recruits on campus that are top kids. It's not just, you know, whoever shows up. It's very targeted guys that we want for those games. And they get a chance to get around campus. They get a chance to be around us. We talk to them and visit with them in an awesome setting up in the Student Union, which is great. They get to be on pregame on the field with our guys, feel the energy, feel what it's like to be out there with our guys, and then obviously witness the game. So that's why it's so vital for our community to support us. It's so vital that our game day atmosphere with, you know, from our games management side of it is so good because that might be the only shot we have at those kids. And we had a wonderful weekend recruiting some of the top talent that's out there. Tremendous response out of those guys, and looking forward to making some of those guys Eagles for sure. Yeah, you know, well, the game day experience, that's Kim and event staff, management people that make it a quality experience, and I've noticed how it gets better and better and better. Absolutely, every week, every year, it's just they're doing a great job. Well, let's look at Stout. 3-1, they lost to St. John's to start the season, then they've won 3 in a row. Gustavus, California Lutheran, and they came from behind at halftime to beat Eau Claire. Yeah. Eau Claire, by the way, a very improved team. You have beat them in your first 2 years, and I noticed you've outscored them 63-13 in those 2 years. And I also noticed they have a couple of quality running backs, Rashawn Graham and Keyshawn Carpenter, a veteran quarterback, a good wide receiver. Talk about what we're going to see at Stout at a 2 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, homecoming for them. I mean, they're going to be juiced up. They've won 3 games in a row. This is always going to be one for them that they're going to want from us. You know, we've had a lot of success against them the last couple of years. Had to play our butts off in a really tough game last year down here. I know that their head coach, Coach Birmingham, has made a couple comments about, you know, they feel a couple years ago we beat them. They said we feel like that's a team we should beat, and we beat them 42-6. You know, that I know that this is a game that they want. want, and they're certainly going to be feeling like they're going to be ready to play. I mean, they're going to have a huge bump. They've won 3 games in a row. That's hard to do no matter what. I mean, you look at it, and they're going to be ready for the game. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere up there on their homecoming. They've been playing a freshman quarterback as of late, and he's been doing a great job for them. Their offense had a wonderful day last week against Eau Claire, running the football, throwing the football, really balanced with that. Some big-time explosive plays too. So, yeah, hey, we got our hands full going up there, and we know that. We know the kind of team that they are. They're going to be juiced up and ready to play that thing at 2 o'clock on Saturday for sure.
Well, I think the question it begs the defensive front you're going to see, the defensive approach you're going to see, because if you're into analytics and you're looking at stats, our inability to maybe run the ball as well as you want,
Absolutely.
Pass the ball on offense. What challenges do they have defensively that you're going to have to master?
Oh, well, they're good defensively, and they've been really good. They've done a great job. Their coordinator was the co-assistant coach of the year last year in the league. Did a great job getting that thing going, and we're gonna have a lot of issues that we got to address. But we just have to play better. We have to play better across the board offensively, and I think our guys know that. And you mentioned Ben saying that he knows he's got to play a better game than what he has. Our wideouts certainly do too. We got to get the ball to Cole Speaker more and find a way to continue to find ways to get him more involved in the football game. But yeah, we got to be able to run the football, and you're seeing some of the struggles of a young offensive line. You know, obviously last week we played one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the country. That's a really good team, really talented and experience loaded on the defense side that Whitewater had. So we got to learn a lot of things that we went through the hard way a little bit there, and find a way to have some success running the football.
We're not going to see a defense similar to Illinois Wesleyan or Dickinson State, I should say, or Whitewater, are we?
No, and no offense to Stout or anybody there, but we've ran into 2 great teams, 2 great defenses here really in a row. But every week, especially in our league, is going to find that physicality. And I thought you saw the physicality really come out of our defense this past week, the way we were playing, and you saw that kind of tenaciousness that we've been missing on that side of the ball. So, really this week we got to see it out of our offensive side of the ball, and I know that we will.
Well, Matt Janisch put together a great schemes,
Absolutely.
and I complimented him. I compliment him here because he's here, and I also compliment him on during the game. Oshkosh over River Falls, 48-14. Platteville over Point. Any surprises?
No, River Falls really played Oshkosh tough, and Oshkosh pulled away. We were able to watch most of that game, at least into the middle of the third quarter before our game, and that was great getting to see that. And then we watched the Stout game, obviously, playing a tough rivalry game there coming out of it. So league looks good. We got our hands full the next 6 weeks, and really looking forward to it. We're hoping that guys see the same thing out of us.
Well, we'll be there for that 2 o'clock kickoff. Around campus quickly, women's soccer 7-2, receiving votes on the national poll. Volleyball 10-7, 2-1 in the WIAC. Women's tennis 5-1. Both cross-country teams ranked nationally. Women 5th, men 12th. Women's golf first season since in the last 20 years. They compete in the WIAC championships on Friday and Saturday in Reedsburg. So, been a great show, Mike.
Been always a great show.
I appreciate all of your insight. I want to thank our sponsors again for making this show happen. We really appreciate that, and we hope that you will frequent those sponsors. We'll be here each week to talk Eagle football with Coach Schmidt. Please remember, the show is replayed on Tuesdays at 6:30. Our next show, October 9th, maybe now, Tuesday. We'll let our friends and sponsors know an in-depth look at the Stout game, and we'll look at the Stevens Point game, which is ahead. By the way, that'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff in 2 weeks.
Night game at home.
That'll be awesome. So until next week, I'm your host, Terry Erickson, for Mike Schmidt. Thanks for joining us here today on the Mike Schmidt UWL Eagle Football Show. Good job again.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Good work.
Thank you.
You've been watching the Mike Schmidt Football Show on KQEG TV. The Mike Schmidt Football Show is brought to you by Honda Motorworks, your electric and hybrid headquarters at 4th and Cass. By Schilling Supply, serving businesses with critical supplies since 1897. By Schumacher Kish Cremation and Funeral Services in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. By 360 Real Estate Solutions, they've got the keys to your new home. And by Market & Johnson, Western Wisconsin's construction leader, adding value to everything they do. Join us next week at this same time for the Mike Schmidt Football Show.